Hi everyone. Boy, do we have a fun presentation for you today. My name is Matthew, and I'd like to talk with you a little bit about inoculation and raw material processing. Let's talk about the raw materials. These are sawdust, hardwood fuel pellets, basically compressed sawdust. This can be used to grow a mushroom. Inside these composites, we used raw hemp biomass also to produce and grow out mycelium in mushrooms. These mushrooms, you see, grew off of these composite panels we made using mycelium as an aggregate. Other materials you can use: cardboard, hemp, hardwood fuel pellets. Now let's talk about inoculation. For the most part, the materials and the equipment can be pretty simple and pretty low-tech. However, it does pay to be very sterile and to practice lab protocol when you're inoculating. So what we'll do is we'll take our inoculated media, our feedstock. This just happens to be inoculated sawdust. Break it up. Get your hardwood fuel pellets. You would soak these for about 30 minutes, and then you would sprinkle in your spawn. Now you would do this in a bag. However, in the absence of a bag, you can use a Rubbermaid container, a little bit of saran wrap inside cardboard, anything you wish, just about.
Hello, my name is Alicia and I am a second-year industrial design student who has been working on the mycomaterials team. Each week this semester, I have gone to the Gnomestead Hollow Farm, where I completed hands-on lab work, including the processing and inoculation of materials and substrates. I also designed and fabricated a mold for a planter pot made from mycelium. I used a laser cutter to cut the forms out and assembled them by hand. Eventually, I was able to demold the mycelium and use it as a functional pot.
There are some interesting applications for 3D printed and laser cut formwork in the development of mycelium growth components, which is a unique incorporation of fabrication technology with biomaterials to promote the cross-disciplinary interaction. In this case, Rhino is used to develop 3D printed formwork as well as a laser cut formwork in the shape of acrylic panels. And they're both used in this case to develop formwork for a mycelium with hemp.
Here I've created a prototype of a biodegradable planter system. The hexagonal form allows multiple units to be stacked vertically to create a green wall. The form was first modeled in Rhino, then fabricated through 3D printing and laser cutting. Reishi sawdust spawn was mixed with hemp and allowed to grow out as two separate halves. Then the halves were joined and a strong outer layer of mycelium grew to form a single piece.
Here, I've modeled a small-scale biodegradable seed starter tray. The two-part mold was 3D printed and packed with reishi sawdust spawn. And I've also been developing biodegradable packaging for a wine bottle. This required two one-part molds, for which I used a CNC router to cut them out of high-density foam. The molds were then packed with a combination of reishi sawdust spawn and hemp. The goal with both of these concepts is to replace single-use plastics, which are currently the standard for both of these items.
Mycelium can serve as a substitute material to the plastics and fabrics of lampshades. For my first lamp, I allowed a bag of mycelium to slump freely with gravity. Next, I used a laser to create a star shape. We quickly learned that the welded plastic is not breathable and is hard to demold. Flour was administered to help the piece heal. However, the flour used was contaminated, destroying the piece, adding another item that might be considered for sterilization. Moving forward, burlap could be an excellent material for flexible formwork as it is breathable and does not need to be demolded. It also has the opportunity to be digitally processed through computer-guided sewing and lasers.
This is Shorup, so I'm talking about the hemp and utilization for different purposes. Hemp is a newly reintroduced crop where one could be the possible the growth medium for mushroom. After harvesting this mushroom, there is material which we can utilize as a compost, which we call mushroom compost. Generally, for gardening, some people they are using this compost, but we are interested to the certain experiment how the hemp plant responds on this mushroom-based compost. So we'll conduct that studies in future. Thank you.